want to talk a little bit about history. We're in a moment in time right now in which the teaching of history, the framing of history, is being hugely contested in the United States. And there are all sorts of ways in which partisan political figures and other folk are taking to task the work of antiracism. And the thing I want to say about this is that I want to teach history in its fullness. I want to teach history with stories of all of the pieces of it that we can uncover. And the effort to understand some of the ways we got to where we are today is not only important from the angle of having an adequate grasp, it's also actually empowering, because if you can begin to understand, okay, what brought us to this point, you can begin to ask, well, what could we do differently, right? And learning some of the structures and some of the history in the United States in particular, I think teaching some of the brokenness of U.S. history as well as some of the excited pieces of it is not about making Americans in particular, and here we could talk to our British friend here about how he feels about this, but I think it's not about making Americans feel guilty. It's about helping us feel angry at what has happened and wanting to change in the future. And for me, learning about things like, redlining and housing segregation in the Twin Cities, learning some of the things that have been a part of how policing began in the United States, how it's continued in the United States. I mean, those are pieces of history that we are learning more and more about, and getting a more complex grasp of them really helps this work.
Yeah. My one of my ancestors was Sir Robert Peel, who actually founded the police force in the British Isles. So I speak from an ancestral point here about this. I mean, I just think learning the full history of what's gone on in both Great Britain and the United States is a way of preparing yourself to be a fully participating citizen. You cannot take actions and make decisions based on a segmented history where only one dominant racial group is controlling the narrative. Absolutely.